Hello, my name's Colin Crithers, and I'm a student reporter and broadcaster at the University of Iowa. As a journalist, my job is to tell stories, while also balancing everything else going on in my life as a student. But no one tells our stories. So, my goal is to tell the stories of the student journalists, broadcasters, and storytellers all across the country. Let's walk the student beat. Welcome in. Today we're walking the student beat with Lorelei Jager of Purdue. Lorelei, thanks for joining me here today.
Hi.
Glad to have you here. If you don't mind just starting off a little bit of your background, the journalistic outlets you work with.
So I obviously I go to Purdue. I am a rising senior, and I kind of really started the whole broadcasting journalism thing not recently, but recently enough. I started my second semester of my sophomore year. I started with Big Ten Plus working as a camera operator, which led me to a summer internship with the Cape Cod Baseball League as a camera operator. And then this past school year, I started working a little bit more of other things as well. I work with Big Ten Plus still, as I've done a little bit of camera. My boss has let me do camera this year, but that sideline reporting. And then I've also started working in the control room this past semester. And then I also work with Purdue Athletics on the more communication side. So learning a little bit more about that. But kind of just figuring that all out. And then right now I'm here on the Cape again as a associate producer and feature reporter for the league.
Absolutely. We're going to dive into all of that. I want to start with the first thing you kind of just mentioned was it's somewhat more recent to you. Talk about your journey kind of getting into the journalism world, especially with Big Ten Plus.
Mhm. So it's actually a very how do how do I word this? Like, I don't know. It's a very crazy like way that I got to it. I never really thought that this is where I would be today, especially like if you told me this 2 years ago, I would have had no idea. So out of high school, I was committed to University of Kentucky for nursing. Very different. And then the only reason I was going to go there is because I got a good scholarship and I never really visited any schools. So when I finally went for orientation, I really just didn't, I wasn't going to say anything, but I didn't really like it. And my mom could tell. So she kind of told me, like, let's not do that. And then so I ended up going to community college for my freshman year. My first semester, I was nursing major, taking, nursing classes, microbiology, all that. Realized very quickly that that was not for me. And then so I decided to switch to just like communications. And then I figured I'd possibly go like a pre-law route. My mom was a paralegal for 13 years. So I was like, you know what, somewhat up my alley. And then I decided after my first year that I wanted to transfer to a 4 year, and Purdue came up. I visited this time and it was everything I was looking for, somewhat close to home. I'm from Chicago, so it's a nice drive. It's not too bad at all. And so I went for communications and I was still pre-law at this point. So after the first semester, I still kind of had a weird feeling about where I was going. I was kind of stressing out. I'm like, okay, I'm halfway through my sophomore year. Like I still don't really feel like that's for me. So I reached out to a girl that I knew that was a senior who was doing kind of the whole sideline reporting thing. I had no idea about anything that she did or anything. I just knew, she worked in sports and was looking to maybe figure out something. So I was like, I Instagram DM'd her and I was like, hey, like, would you mind like getting coffee with me or something? Like, I'm very confused on what I want to do, and maybe this could be something I'd want to, do. So she met with me and she was awesome. She told me about Big Ten Plus, which is, I mean, you know what it is, but it's awesome. And then she's from Boston. So she told me about the Cape League and she had interned here 2 summers. At this point, she had interned there for 2 summers when she told me about everything. And so she kind of gave me the connections to Big Ten Plus, told me who to talk to, who to email, who to meet with, and then told me about the Cape, gave me all the links for everything, gave me her like cover letters, everything that I could just look at and basically mirror. And so I did literally exactly what she said, and it just turned out that I loved it. And I started working with cameras first. And I actually really fell in love with cameras. And my boss at Purdue, he's the best ever. He's this like teddy bear. So he was very willing to help and very willing to teach. So I think I kind of got into it. Once I got into it and I, kind of like made my foreground there, it just took off from there. But yeah.
No, it's amazing. And I love hearing like with a few other people around different Big Ten schools that everyone's Big Ten plus boss are all just like great people. It's the same
Yeah.
thing for us right now. Shout out Deke. The people at Washington, Maryland, they have a lot of fun with what they do. We could
Hmm.
start with the camera stuff though, getting into it. I know we've got a
Yeah.
guy who loves it to the point where he's throwing SD cards in, and that's the stuff he wants to use to send out for like jobs once he leaves college. Like,
Mhm.
what about camera work, like, did you fall in love with on the broadcast side?
So I think honestly, my favorite part of it, well, going into it, I was very skeptical. Uh, Kind of backtracking a little bit, the girl who told me about everything, she also started on cameras. So she told me that's probably the best place to start out. So I was like, okay, I'll start out on cameras. We'll see how that goes. I've never done anything with cameras. So I was like, we'll see how that goes. So it was my first couple games, and I mean, it also helped that it was during baseball season, which I'm a baseball person. My family, it's a baseball family. So that helped. Being at the games was already something that I was like excited about. And then just the fact that we had to kind of compete for shots to be put live in the game, I think that was honestly like it was fun. And whenever they would be like, they'd give the people in the control room, they love to give compliments too. So like whenever you're live and they're like, good shot, I'm like, you know what? Heck yeah. I'm like, that was awesome. So then after I kind of got a hold of everything and like being able to frame and stuff, like, I mean, I'm a girl, so I know how to like frame a camera for, like Instagram. So like there's that. But like being able to like have that and I don't know, it was just something really new, but something I didn't think I would like, but it just surprised me that I liked it and that I was actually like good at it. And I never really found something before that I was like good at and that I liked. And like I'm obviously not like a math person, definitely not a science person. So I mean, it was awesome to find something that I liked that was a little bit different. And like none of my friends at school or anyone that I really knew, they didn't do any of this. Like they don't know anything about cameras or anything or, broadcasting at all. So it was cool to like be able to have that as well and like talk about it.
Yeah, I love the part, like, and I love the feeling of like competing for a shot. That feels so much fun on cams. But at least the way we have things set up at Iowa, it's kind of like if your first, like when you get started, your first role is typically a camera position, just so
Mhm.
one, you can kind of get situated with everyone there. You can kind of get the flow of how broadcast works. And then kind of the motto from our boss right now is you don't have a broadcast without cameras. I mean, sure, you can do a radio broadcast, but our form of Big Ten plus broadcast, if you don't have the cameras, there's nothing.
Mhm.
No, it's like
No,
the
I think it's the
baseline.
same. It's the same at Purdue. Everyone normally starts on cameras and then works their way around. But yeah, I'm glad. I'm glad I started there for sure.
No, absolutely. And then obviously finding your way over to the Cape Cod. And I know you've done a little bit of now camera work and some sideline reporting as well with both of those spots. And while Big Ten Plus and the Cape Cod League can be very similar with the stuff you're doing, I feel like there's a lot more you can take from summer ball, especially in the Cape Cod, and kind of grow with um, kind of your work, your talents over there. What do you think
Mhm.
summer ball kind of helps different reporters or journalists kind of grow with more than they can during their school year?
Mhm. So I will say, like at Purdue, it's not we don't have like an awesome like student news or we don't even have a student radio. So I mean, I definitely came in here feeling like the least experienced person for sure, even last summer. But I mean, I feel like just being here and like being around people who do this. Like there's a lot of Syracuse people here. Obviously, their journalism school is awesome. I'm living with three girls who have been doing this for a really long time. So like being able to bounce ideas back and forth off of each other and with all the other interns as well, just like being here and getting the reps is awesome. Before I came here this year, I had only made like two packages in my life. And now I've made, I think, four or five. And I feel like definitely the quality of some of the stuff that I've made, and while it might not still be the best ever, it's so much better than, 2 months ago when I was at school. So I feel like just being here and getting the reps and also the like kind of the creative freedom that you have. I just did this interview with an Ohio State player. And we were on the beach playing catch for the first part of the interview. Then we moved it to the field and we were hitting BP in the cages, kind of talking about his background. And I was like, I could never do that really at Purdue. I mean, one, there's no beaches at Purdue, but also, I mean, going through the SIDs are a little crazy. So it's like being able to be here and have the creative freedom and then be around players that are open to all of this, new things and they want to get the exposure, at school, not necessarily, they might not want to. So they're here because they want to go to the big leagues, so they want to be seen, they want the exposure. It's nice that, being here, they are good with that. And then just like I'm allowed to do that, but
Yeah, you get to be the
mhm.
person to share all those stories and kind of give them the
Mhm.
exposure, which is awesome.
Yes, I love that.
And I was thinking, like, while you're talking there about some of the clips, and the one that came to mind was that interview with the Ohio State player. And for those
Mhm.
listening that haven't seen anything, either go to the Instagram or whatever is linked below to watch some of these clips. For someone that hasn't had the years of experience like some of the others you talk about, you're kind of a natural with a lot of different things. So where does that kind of come from? Where did you kind of find that confidence to just be yourself on camera?
I think it kind of comes from, I don't know, I've never really been person to be a little shy. I've never been called that before. So I think that kind of helps. I just feel like, I don't know, I really like having conversations with people and I really like, just, meeting people. The interviews are my favorite part of all broadcasting. Like being able to tell a story is awesome. And like just being there to like, be with this person talking about themselves. That's a cool aspect of it. And then like, I don't know. When I was little, like my parents, their favorite thing, actually not even all, my entire family, they would love to say like you're like meant to be on TV or something because you what did you just say? How are you able to say that? Like I feel like I don't know. And like out of all my friends, that kind of helps too. Like my friends at school, there's 10 of us in my group and we're like they're the best people ever. And like I genuinely mean that. And they all are kind of the same way too. They're very goal oriented, very confident in their work. And I feel like just being around them, that also helps. So being able to start out on camera while having this great foundation at home and great foundation at school, I think that also helped. Like I had good people behind me. So I was like, even if I fail, it's okay. But yeah, I kind of just gave it. I wanted to succeed at it and I want to succeed at it every day. So I don't know. I just feel like if I don't give my all every single time, then like, you never know. But
No, you don't ever know. But I like that, like most people, including you, like you have some people that support you. You have friends there. Like that's the big thing with me at Iowa is like I have a good group of people, especially with those that I work with, to points where like there are plenty of times I'll do something and I don't know how I feel about it. I'll start to get in my head a little bit. And then you kind of just bounce ideas off other people. And that's when you realize, okay, maybe I am good in gear. Maybe I am feeling okay with what I'm doing with my work.
mhm. Yeah, no, it's awesome to have that. And like especially like my family and they're like able to help me out, in any possible way. Like a lot of them give me ideas. My mom gave me the idea for going on the beach and playing baseball. So, I mean, like having that as well, like they're very open to helping me too, which is nice. So I feel like that's so important that you have that too. Like, I don't know. I feel like not a lot of people have that. I mean, I didn't have it until I had my group at college. And like now that like I have it, it just makes so many things better in my life. So I'm like, that's good that everyone, like, you're able to experience that as well.
No, I completely agree. That's the same idea for me, same situation here with just finding the group in college, which makes college very, very fun. Sticking
Yes.
around the Cape League real quick. For those that
Mhm.
are listening that don't know about the Cape Cod League, to put it simply, it's one of the best collegiate baseball leagues in the entire country. All the broadcasts are very professional. All the talent out there is top notch, including yourself. And I just got to ask, because you bring up so many cool ideas, how's the creative freedom out there with the Cape Cod League? How do you get to kind of express all these different ideas?
So I think, I mean, a lot of us, we've met a few times before. We all met obviously a few times before we came here. So I kind of had the like idea that we had so much creative freedom with like the things that we want to do. And we being able to bounce off ideas so early on before the season was nice. So I was able to like think like during the school year preparing to come here, I would have an idea pop up in my head and I'm like, okay, let me write that down. That could possibly be, something I want to do. And it's just been awesome that I've actually been able to do it. So this year it's actually really different with the league. We have like a whole Cape League TV interns for the league. That was not necessarily a thing before. It's the first year they're doing it. So what we do is like a game of the week, and it's games on the Saturdays, and they're broadcasted on CBS Boston, and then they're also broadcast on SMY, which is the like Mets network. But what we have is a 30-minute pregame show, and that's kind of where all the creative like packages go. And our bosses here, they kind of told us less baseball, like obviously baseball focus, but less, stats baseball. So that's kind of where like that idea came in with like, playing catch and everything. They want to hear the stories of it, which is my favorite part of the interview. So it always, it worked out great for me. But it's also great because like a lot of our bosses there, they like the different things. And I mean, it's obviously great for me. It's great for like a reel. It's great for all of the other interns who are looking to, do something. But I don't know, the creative freedom has been awesome. Like, I mean, the other day I was with Daniel Stein, we did this reoccurring thing. It was called Ballpark Bites. And the first time we went to the field that I worked at last summer and we tried donut burgers. And that went on like CBS Boston. And I'm like, wow, okay, like I don't know, just like that. I think that's also like what makes me help or what has helped me like love this internship even more. Like I've never realized like the feature stuff would be cool. I mean, I've only ever done just the interviews or just the whatever, but like editing everything, like learning that and then having all this like fun stuff, making it more fun is making all of us love it more, I feel like too. So, but yeah.
Yeah, I saw the donut burger, and the name alone makes me just think, what in the world? Like, it doesn't, I don't even know if it sounds that great, but
I am not like I wasn't lying in the video. I actually really liked them. I tried the like regular one, I guess you could say, and that was just a burger with cheese, bacon on a plain donut. It was good. Like it was, and then we tried a jelly donut, jelly filled donut with cheese whiz cheese burger. I was very skeptical of that. It actually tasted really good. It was like sweet and salty. And that sounds so like chud to say, but like it was actually really good. And I had two of my Purdue friends come visit me this past weekend. And yesterday, one of them, she tried a donut burger and I like was recording it. I was like, I'm sorry, I need to record you trying this because like, wow. But I swear it's actually good. Like there's another one, it's called the hurler. And everyone makes the joke like called the hurler, it's gonna make you hurl, but it's like a Boston cream donut with I think it's like with bacon and then like the burger and the cheese, but it's like a chocolate cream filled donut is yeah. But I haven't tried that one. But
I'm typically a Boston cream fan, so that one I would probably try. However, like I am skeptical when I think of it, but now it's a bucket
yes,
list item to come try.
yes, 100% you have to. You have to go to Red Wilson Field and try that badly.
There, I'll add that to the bucket list. I'll write that down. What's some other ones that you like, or maybe just another one that comes to the top of your mind that was really out there?
So I actually did not try this one. My roommate tried this one. At one of the fields, they have alligator bites. And the fact that they sell that at a field, it's a little
Yeah.
out there. I definitely want to try that. There's another field that does kind of like the same like donut burger situation, but with Uncrustables as the burger. I really want to try that one.
There, there. This is getting me intrigued.
Yeah, I
I'm gonna
definitely
be,
want to try
oh my gosh, like I'm gonna be looking up all this afterwards, just online, just see pictures of, and then I'm gonna get hungry, and I'm gonna be upset
that.
that I can't
Yeah.
go. You get me talking
Yeah,
about
my
food, I'll be
bad.
stuck for a bit. Half the time, people down here, because again, like I told you right before, but those listening that don't know, I'm down in like Clarksville, Tennessee right now, but I'm from Cincinnati, and they ask me all the time about like a Cincinnati Skyline chili coney or three-way. I don't know if you ever heard anything about this stuff. Um,
I've only ever heard of the Skyline chili from that one like brain rot
yeah,
song or brain rot sound on TikTok.
fair. It's interesting. I don't know if I do or don't recommend it. If
What
you
is it?
It's like, all right, I'm a Coney guy. So
Okay.
what I would do, it's a hot dog in a bun, and they throw chili and cheese on it. And then you can have like onions and mustard, whatever.
Okay.
Like that's the basic, like plain version of a Coney.
Yeah. I feel
Um,
like that's
it's not bad.
oh
Now
yeah,
the
I feel
other
like that's
thing,
fine.
no, it is fine. It is. And that's I will get that when I go. The thing you have to realize though is to think about like normal chili and whatever. This chili is not normal. Like it doesn't taste like normal chili. Um, they make it a different way because the origin for this place, now I'm gonna go way off the deep end, but like it's based off like a guy from Greece that came over and basically blended one of his Greek recipes with this. Like or
Okay.
whatever. So the chili basically, to put it simply, has a little bit of chocolate mixed in, like a chocolate coat. You don't taste the chocolate at all, but it changes the taste of it. And it's actually
Okay.
one of the better chilies, in my opinion, that I like. Um,
Okay, I'll add that to my bucket list. I'll do that
there's
to
another
mine.
thing called like a three-way, and then they throw it's noodles, chili, and cheese, and then you can throw whatever on.
Okay.
A lot of people like it. I don't do it much, I'll be honest. It's a little bit more out there. But it's definitely different. People ask me about it literally all the time. So I'll tell people like it's okay. You know, if it's your thing, you'll love it. If it's not, then you will hate it because there's people there that will eat Skyline chili every day of the week. It's ridiculous. Yeah.
Okay. I definitely want to try it though. I mean, like the fact that you can't even taste the chocolate and there's chocolate in it, that's a little,
It's
yeah,
like
that's definitely skeptical.
yeah, I shouldn't. Yeah, it's weird. They just like mix it somewhat with some chocolate, and then they do something that no one knows about with the cheddar cheese or whatever you put on there. So people will be like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna bring this and make it at home or whatever," and I just go, "It's not gonna taste good." Like
No.
it'll be fine every now and then, but like making it at home doesn't work. Doing it there, they do something different to it. So I'll throw that out there. That's my Cincinnati recommendation of the day.
Got it. If next time, or I've never been to
Ever,
Cincinnati, but when I go,
ever.
I'll make sure to try that. I will make sure to try that.
All right, you got that, and then I've got everything out there in the Cape Cod, especially the donut burger.
Yes.
That's the number one.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. And you'd
The
recommend
Screamer is the one the jelly one. You have
the
to try the
jelly.
Screamer.
Let's say the
Yeah.
streamer. Okay. But then the streamer, the jelly burger, and maybe even grab a second one afterwards after I enjoy it so much, right?
Yes. Yes.
Free promotion
Yes.
out there for, for the streamer. But I also want to ask about some of the feature stories you've done. Is there maybe a favorite feature story that you've put together out there?
So let me think. So obviously I've only done a few,
Mhm.
but I think my favorite one was honestly the Dane Harvey one. It was like fully just something. I mean, I've never seen anything like that before. And it took a lot of, I think, like my coworkers, like my bosses, it took them a little bit to like kind of see the vision of what I wanted to do before I did it. But, once I put it together, I think it turned out awesome. And I think that was the most fun. And Dane was a great interview. He's an awesome guy. So, I mean, I think that also helped. I'm actually tomorrow doing the same thing, kind of same vibe with a pitcher who he was born with club feet. So we're gonna like talk about his journey through that. But like he's a pitcher, so I'm like, okay, he's gonna like teach me how to pitch. Or I was thinking possibly like, I mean, pitchers love to play hacky sack before games. I'm like, maybe we could try that out. I've never done that, but like definitely like those kinds of interviews are my favorite. The first one that I did here was we have like a recurring segment called Field Pass, and it's basically like a tour of a Cape Cod field. And I did one with the YD Red Sox, which is the team that I worked for last summer. So it was awesome to like walk around the field again. And I interviewed one of the coaches from last year, and he was like basic. We called him our YD dad. He's kind of like our dad. So having like doing that, that was really fun. That was fun to edit because yeah, he's an awesome guy. But there was a lot to edit. So I think, but honestly, like my favorite one that I've done here is definitely my Dane Harvey one. And then at school, I said I did two packages before I left there. And I think my favorite one that I did there was about one of our wrestlers, Joey Blaze. I had recently got into wrestling because I got put on a game or match. Sorry, still learning the wrestling
Wow,
lingo.
gosh.
I had been put on a match, and it was like the most important match of the season. And I was like, I know nothing about wrestling. I know absolutely nothing about wrestling. So I had to like learn about it. And then I got on like a wrestling kick. So I did a whole package on Joey Blaze. So I went to like their practice, which was a little hard to watch, just like, it was hard to watch a little bit, but it was fun because like that was also like a great interview. I feel like anything when it's a great interview, like you can turn it into like the best thing ever. But and then actually, I forgot about this. I have one that I'm currently in the process of editing. I'm almost done with it, but we had our Fenway Day the other day, and basically all the teams got to go to Fenway and just have like beep hit BP in and out, and then on Fenway. And so I did this. I did in a few interviews with some of the league home run leaders. And like the stand, I think it's honestly like one of my favorites just because like my stand, like it was at Fenway. I was on the field at Fenway. So I feel like that was just really cool too.
You
But
have to
yeah.
throw that out there. You have to.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh yeah.
I'll start with the wrestling bit. One, I think unless you lived wrestling since you were a baby, I like everyone that I know still calls it a game every now and then. It goes like, "Oh wait, it's a match." Or I would do it probably every single time and look at myself and say, "No, it's a match," even though you know what I mean the whole
Yeah.
time. Like, I think there's one guy up at Iowa that lived wrestling his whole life, and he's maybe the one guy I think that hasn't messed it up. Outside of that, the rest of us like. We're like, yeah, yeah. Like I was going in the call a wrestling meet freshman year, and it was like last minute. Like, hey, you want to do it
Mhm.
for the radio? And I was like, sure, for more reps. I don't know wrestling. I called up as many
Yeah.
people as I could. Like, tell me what you know. So half the time I was just like, that looked painful the whole time. I don't know.
Yep. That looked painful.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God. There's this one part of my first match that I worked. It was genuinely the hardest watch of my life. Genuinely the hardest watch of my life. And our videographer got it on video. So it's like I have the video of it in like awesome quality. And I'm like, I just, yeah, that was, yeah, it's definitely a hard sport to get into if you're not like born into it.
It is.
Because
It is.
yikes,
I will say
yikes,
though,
yeah, no.
our women's wrestling team,
You have
I
a women's wrestling team.
do. We do. I say I know it's newer.
Wow.
It is like
Okay.
because this past season was the first year it was an NCAA affiliated sport, but we've had the program for a few years and the club a few years before that. It's ridiculous. The women's team is insane. We've got like one girl named Kennedy Blades. She's an Olympian, and she wins every bout in about 3 seconds. It's ridiculous. She'll take her opponent, pick her up, throw her over her head, and then just roll like 3 times and it's over. It's the funniest thing, but she's a beast. I love
Wait, what's her
bragging
name?
about that. Kennedy Blades.
Okay, I'm
Um,
looking that up.
you gotta look up Kennedy Blades. You gotta look up Kylie Welker, who's in the same boat. She
Okay.
maybe takes a half more second to win her bout.
Okay.
The horrors, right? This team is hilarious to watch, though. Like the last year that they were doing the national championship without NCAA affiliation, I was able to cover and watch the championship bouts, and I was just like the whole time watching and just thinking, there's no way this is even fair.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to watch that. Oh my God. No, I'm looking that up at right after this.
Seriously, like, it honestly is a great thing. That like Kennedy Blades, she'll like practice wrestling against the men's team and like beat the tar out of them constantly. It's awesome.
Oh my God. Did you ever see that clip? I think it was from like 2 years ago. It was you guys had some like crazy good wrestler and he lost to Matt Ramos, the Purdue guy, and then they banned his mom and his mom like snapped his glasses in half. That we watched that in class. My professor was talking about it, and he's like, you know what? We're just gonna pull it up.
Why
Pulls
not?
up, we're watching it, and I was like, oh,
I knew
right.
I knew exactly what clip you were going to. That was I remember Spencer Lee, three-time champion going into that. Like he'd won all three
Yes.
years and then lost in the championship. And I don't care if you're an Iowa fan or not, it's funny. Like not him
That's
losing,
hilarious.
not him losing. It's the reaction that's kind of funny.
So Matt Ramos, the guy at
Mhm.
Purdue, he was approached after that by some like glasses company to do some like sort of NIL for them, and like he denied it. He denied it. He was like, I want to be respectful. I'm like, dude, I'm sorry, but that would be hilarious. Like, I mean, like, yeah, it's probably good that you turned it down, but like the fact that some like company like saw that and then like reached out to him, like, can you promote our glasses? Because yeah,
That's
yeah,
awesome.
that was
Like
a great clip.
it is a great clip. Out of pocket, maybe. Awesome. Absolutely.
Yes.
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 And then like of course you got to mention Fenway Day. Like with bringing up some of the favorite stuff is one, I've never been out there, so I'll ask you kind of the two-parter, which will have the same answer. Is Fenway, and I've seen Fenway Day stuff, is Fenway Day as much as everyone makes it out to be?
No.
Oh,
I would say no. Well, no, like it's an awesome, awesome day. I think, well, no, okay. It's the thing is like when I went, like the interns that go, we don't technically have a job that day.
okay.
Like we just go to go basically.
Okay. Yeah.
I think it's obviously awesome for the players. I think
Hmm.
like
That's
obviously like the one challenge is to, hit something off the green monster. And like if you do that, they like all the players, they just like scream. But I mean, personally, like I know some other people kind of like were kind of skeptical about it and like we're just like I see no point in going just because like I don't have anything to do that day that I don't have to work. But I mean, like it's fun. Right? Like to me, I don't know. I think it was definitely like, it definitely is what it was made out to be. But I remember there was so one of girl from my hometown, she has an internship with CBS Boston this summer, and she asked me all about it. Like she was like, I'm gonna try and get a credential to go. Like, and I was like, oh my gosh, yes. And she asked me what they do there. And then she goes, oh, I'm like not gonna try and get a credential. I'm like, okay.
fair.
I'm like, oh, okay. I mean, for me, it was fun. I don't really care, but I know. I mean, it depends on who you are. It was 100 degrees there the other day, so maybe it wasn't awesome, but I mean, it's like Fenway, so
It's cool, but
oh,
like,
it was so yeah, it was so awesome. We were like walking around the field, and just like randomly we see Roman Anthony just like casually walk up, and I'm like, oh. And I'm like, oh, okay, right, okay, right. It like just reminds you like where you are, and I'm like, oh, right.
Like this is your
I don't know.
place.
I thought it was awesome, but
That is awesome.
yeah.
That is. That makes sense though with it like the day, like didn't really get much to do, but like Fenway itself, I know people are like it's kind of like a half-half from what I've heard. Like it's cool, but it's old. Like obviously it's old, but like you can see, you can tell it's old. Is what I've heard.
Yeah, it's definitely like baseball. Like it's like a good baseball feel place. Like if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah. Yeah, it is like half and half, I would say. Last summer, I mean, I was just a camera operator. So I when we went, like we just kind of sat there for our team to like go through their progressions. And that was like all we did that day. But I mean, I kind of just like we filmed our pregame show there. So our hosts, they were like hosting from Fenway. So that's like why they went. And then so we just kind of like tagged along and I just kind of made myself a job for that day. So that's why I like was interviewing people. But like, I don't know. That also goes back to the creative freedom thing. Like I didn't have a job at Fenway that day, but I just like made one for myself. Like, and everyone was like, no question about it. That was awesome too.
That is awesome. Like
But
making the most of it. Now
yeah,
you can say you did an interview, you have a story at Fenway.
right. Exactly.
Put that
I
out there.
mean, okay.
The amount of people that just go like when they hear that is like I'm pretty sure it'd be like most anyone involved in baseball.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like that.
Fair. Fair. Yeah, no, that's awesome though. And again, for those listening, all that stuff is going to be linked to go check out. I promise you it is worth your time when you listen to go listen to these stories, watch them, the whole 9 yards. So just want to throw that out there again, even though we'll throw it out there again towards the end of this. Which again, those are awesome. Um, we'll start with this now. Moving a little bit past like the general journalism stuff
Hmm.
at this point. Um, Student journalists, can be a weird path for everyone. And
Hmm.
sometimes you're even competing with those in the professional landscape. For those that are on the outside of journalism looking in, what would you tell them is the reason that student journalism is so important to pay attention to?
I don't know. I think it's awesome to kind of like watch a bunch of people try and like figure out their voice and figure out who they are, try to like change up their confidence. I think it's awesome to see how people transform throughout it. So like if you're able to follow someone who's like a freshman and they start off doing it and then you look at something they did freshman year, looking at something that they did senior year in college, like I think that's awesome seeing the progression and like I don't know, like I mean, obviously I'm friends with everyone who's, a part of it too. Watching them has been awesome. And like, I think I mean, it's really hard. Like I said earlier, my friends, they're like accounting, finance, pre-med majors. Like they don't understand this at all. And when my friends were here this weekend, I took them to the field and I actually was filming a donut burger eating challenge on the field. And
So awesome.
yeah, that was a hard watch as well. And like so my friends they saw me like setting up the camera and I made them like carry it back and I wanted to take a picture like there. And my friend she made a TikTok carrying my tripod and was like, I'm stealing Lorelei's job for the day. And I think like not a lot of people understand it, but I feel like once you're able to kind of look in on it and you actually do look in on it, I don't know, I think it's very entertaining. Like these are young people, and especially if it's something you're serious about and you want to get good at it, like you can tell that, and like you can, like I mean, the professional people, they're already professional. It's whatever. But like these like college kids, they're like trying really hard, and like it's just fun to watch. And I feel like everyone who does who sh like everyone should look in on it if they're not. And I feel like the Big Ten Plus broadcasts, like they wouldn't know that it's students unless I mean, they always say like it's a student run, like, and then they have the angles of all the cameras and stuff, people on the cameras. But I mean, I feel like I don't know, it's just like cool, like that we get the opportunity to even do this in college. And like, I don't know, the fact that everyone just tries so hard when they like really want it is cool. So looking at that's cool.
Yeah, I agree because I mean you're gonna take leaps, you're gonna grow. I look back to stuff my freshman year that I did at the time. I thought, oh, this live shot or this interview was pretty good, pretty good. And now I look at them.
Yeah.
I mean, I did it, I guess. It was a thing. It's not
Yeah.
great, but that's because, I mean, you do more stuff, you learn, you grow, and that's what people can
Mhm.
pay attention to, which I think is a great point you bring up there. I love the point about Big Ten Plus too, because you see people comment about whatever, whether it's good or bad, and they have no idea that it's like
Oh, yeah.
students most of the time. And that's what I also love about this, getting to share that, yeah, it's all these people running the show.
Mhm. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, no, for sure. It's definitely cool.
it is. It's very cool. And then yeah, no, I love your point there. With that, also transition to another general thing, at this point, and very more tailored to the conversation we can have today. Obviously and unfortunately, there can sometimes be a stigma with women in sports. So I want to give you an opportunity now, to kind of bring up why it shouldn't really matter. If someone was listening to this and if you had a comment to think about like the stigma against women in sports sometimes, like what is your thought against that?
Think it depends. I mean, I feel like there's definitely like a few stigmas, that can be generalized that are more of like a general thing that people think about. Like people aren't, I mean, no one's gonna see I feel like no one really sees like a girl, especially like on a football field, on a baseball field, they're like they don't actually like know what they're talking about. But I feel like, that's just dumb in itself. Like, you can be a guy and not understand a baseball game. It's like it goes both ways. But I feel like also I think some people just don't take girls in it seriously because like they just think they're doing it for like some other like reasons. And I feel like if you really love it and you're doing it for all the right reasons, you're doing it for, you genuinely want to succeed in it, it shows. And that only looks good on you. Like, you can't speak for anyone else, but you can speak for yourself. And I think if you're doing the hard work and you're doing it well, people really like push past that stigma. Like if you're on a broadcast and you're a girl and you're doing very well. You could be doing it better than some other guy on the broadcast. Then people really look at that person and say, wow, they worked super hard. So I feel like it can go either way with women in broadcasting, but I feel like, I don't know. It's annoying that there are stigmas, and I've definitely experienced some of them, especially when I was first getting into it. Because I mean, most of the people that I work with are, they're men. So it was a little bit hard getting into it, and like, but I feel like again, I don't have much of a filter. So I feel like being able to have like people be comfortable around, like, people be comfortable around me and like be able to make jokes and like, not super serious all the time. I think that also helps too. Like getting to know the woman as a person too is like, that also makes a big difference. But yeah.
Yeah, no, like if you get to know someone, it's hard to generalize everything, I think,
Mhm.
honestly. So I like that. But you're right with, I mean, a lot of women, especially now that I watch, like, are quite a bit better than most of the males in the male-dominated field. This is like, you go back to the Chicago, they just had the first female analyst on a Chicago White Sox
Uh-huh.
team. She was better than
Hmm.
half the analysts in the MLB, in my opinion. You go to the
Hmm.
Cubs, they had an all-female broadcast last season, right? Yeah, last season. Um, that was better than half the MLB broadcasts over the course of the year. You look at your stuff as a college kid, and it's better than a lot of other reporters that are doing stuff. Like, I don't think it should matter. One of the things I think I hate, and it goes both ways, men and women, but it's typically said out loud to women more is, oh, you didn't play, so you don't know the sport. I think that's one of the dumbest things I ever hear. Because I'm like, what do you like? I hate that. I can't stress it enough. I hate hearing
Hmm.
that because I don't think you have to play it all to understand and watch a sport and get to talk about it.
Yeah. No, 100%. Like, no, literally 100%. You can be a guy and you can never play baseball, like, and then still like a sport. Like, my dad, like I said, baseball family. My dad, like, didn't really play baseball. He played other sports, but obviously he knows a lot about it. So it's like, I mean, it goes with everyone. I mean, I played softball, so that helps a little bit with me, but but I mean, a lot of the people I a lot of people I work with, like they didn't play softball, but they like love baseball. So it's like literally the love of the game, like genuinely.
Exactly. Love of the game. If you love what you're doing, you're going to learn about it. It's the same way of learning about other stuff. It can help if you played a sport. Like I played baseball throughout high school, but I didn't play college baseball. I'm not the greatest baseball player, but like you or anyone else in this, like you have conversations with people that play college baseball and you learn from them. You have conversations with people that play field hockey or whatever it is,
Mm,
and you learn from them, and then you're able to share that information. You know the sport at that point.
No, literally, yes, exactly. I mean, it took that's what it had to take for me to learn wrestling. So I
Yeah, you
so
don't have
I understand that.
Yeah, like you don't have to know. Like you don't have to like play it to know, and everyone has to learn something, like
hmm
whatever it is. So that's one of the things I always love to throw out the window.
hmm
But talking to, and there's a potential that someone listening to this is maybe a younger girl who wants to get into sports, whether it's journalism or not. Maybe they're just starting in college. If they would like to get into sports, what would be your biggest message to them?
I think honestly, the biggest thing is to just do it. Like if you have reservations, what am I trying to say? That's the word, right?
I think so,
If
yeah.
you
We're about to have like a
I
sincere moment there.
yes, if you have like if you are nervous about it or you're trying to get into it and you have to show up to a field one day or a stadium and it's your first time and you're scared to do it, I feel like I mean you definitely have to be the type of person to just walk into a place, especially in a new environment. I think it's important to just do it. I mean, I think especially like with me specifically, like having to go to like the baseball field for the first time when I was running a camera, and I'd never run a camera before in my life. That was definitely very nerve-wracking. And I think that the fact that I went into it with a lot of reservations about it. And I think just like doing it, and once you get into a good groove, like it doesn't take that long to get into a good groove, especially like with cameras, like after like a third inning, like you know what you're doing, like in the control room after three innings, you know what you're doing. Like I think just going, putting your head down and just trying to succeed, like, and don't like half go at it. Like I think just doing it is probably the best thing that I can say. And then just like be confident in yourself. I mean, you have the urge to do it for a reason. And I feel like just like follow that. It's such a fun place to be. And like how special is it that you like are able to love what you do and you get to do it every day. So I think if it's something that you really want to do, like just do it, try to pursue it because it's such a fun place to be. And especially when you get to a point where you feel comfortable and you know everyone that you're working with and you have like a good comfortability with them and like the comfortability of knowing the game of whatever game you're at. I think that's really important. So just doing it is important.
That's the message right there. Just do it. Like, because
Mhm.
the more you do
Just do
something,
it.
the more comfortable. It's like the Nike logo right there. Just do it.
Yes.
We'll brand that right
Yes.
there. Um, but no, I think I absolutely agree with that because no matter what it is, like the more you do something, the more you'll be comfortable with it. The
Mhm.
more you'll shake off the nerves because that's what you do with everything in life. The more you just
Mhm.
have to do it, and then everything else can start to float away afterwards. So I appreciate you sharing that right there. Before we close this thing out. I want to give you an opportunity to kind of plug yourself. Where can people find you and your work after they're done listening to this episode?
You can finally find me mostly on Instagram. I have a sports Instagram called Lorelei Jager TV. You can look that up. I post pretty much everything that I do on there. You can find me there.
Absolutely. And remember, to those listening, everything will be linked, whether you're listening to this on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, or Spotify. So, last thing for you here, Lorelai, before we close things out, if you had to go back to that girl graduating high school, just started to look at UK, maybe not going to go there, started off community college, and then tell her now that this is what you're doing. You're working with Big Ten Plus. You're over in the Cape Cod League. Like, what would you tell her?
I don't know. I think I would just tell her like it all works out because I was, like I said, like I was very nervous. It took me a very long time to figure out what I wanted to do. And just, I don't know, just like telling her that everything works out. I think that would be the biggest relief to me back then. I mean, high school is a rough place, and especially like trying to transition to some place that you may not know anything about. Like I knew nothing about Kentucky. I feel like I've never been so nervous in my life, and I stressed about it a lot. And when I started community college, like I was just very upset all the time. I saw all the people from high school just like they're out living their lives. They're at these 4 years in different states, they're living their lives, they're starting their lives. And that was always like my biggest like dream. I just want to like start my own thing. Like I just want to start my life. And I think just telling her that like it all works out, you end up in literally the best possible position that, you could be in. Like I think that is something I would say.
I love it. It's a great message there. I know that's perfectly stated. Just, when everything works out, that's why I like to tell myself at times, like I have to remind myself when I go panic about this or that or stress about this, like it's gonna work out in the end. You'll look back in a week, in a month or whatever and realize, oh, I was fine the whole way.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm
Uh,
definitely a worry wart. So
Yeah, no,
that would
I
help
could be
me.
too. Absolutely. Even though I tell people, like, there'll be people that, come to me for stuff and I'll tell them, no, it's okay. And I'll turn around and just start worrying about this or that. And
Hmm.
that's the message I have to remind myself with all the time.
Hmm.
Exactly what you said.
No, for sure. Yeah.
Well, again, Lorelei, thank you so much for joining me here on the Student Beat and spending some time here.
Well, thank you so much for inviting me. I had a great time talking to you.
Thank you for listening to this episode of The Student Beat. Make sure to check out all of Lorelei's work and interviews and follow along with her through her final year at Purdue. If you want to be the next guest on The Student Beat or know someone that you believe should be the next guest, don't be afraid to DM the podcast on social media. Speaking of, that's where you stay up to date with all upcoming episodes by following on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at The Student Beat. We just walked The Student Beat. I'll see you next week for a brand new episode.